How foolish of me. I didn't have my microphones recording. I hope everybody can hear me. Now, thank you for joining me if you're here, and if you're not, for watching this later. We're going to continue our journey on ghost stories from the world with Omen in the Philippines. The next tale of terror is about that of a headless priest. So, get ready for something terrifying, I hope. I didn't read this story ahead of time. I'm going to read it now, along with some ominous music. Let's begin. The Headless Priest. A student was studying late at night at a school library and heard the sound of chains being dragged. When she checked who was making the noise, she found a priest. But wait, a headless priest. The headless priests are another Filipino ghost, part of the urban legends. The priests played a vital role in Philippine history. They were the ones who led the church, and they were also the ones who taught the students in class during the Spanish era. As their name suggests, these clergymen hang out in universities, graveyards, churches, and other places that feel spooky. They sometimes bring their heads with them and seem to be looking for them when they don't. As for their heads, people said that either Filipino revolutionaries during the Revolution or Japanese soldiers during World War II cut off the heads of these priests. Older stories about biblical figures and martyrs who were killed like St. John the Baptist have also helped spread urban legends about priests. Urban legends about priests. Now we all know, right, that urban legends sometimes have a bit of truth to them, right? Hold on a second. Change the camera there. Now, remember, I'm in Quezon City. My name is Rafael Ramos. At least that's the alias that I'm going by while I'm investigating the things that are happening over there. Now remember, we figured out what was going on with the white lady, who's really a lady in a white dress with black hair. Discuss that. Now these headless priests, right? They say they're all over the place. So I'm assuming there's multiple priests who somehow met the end of their life by losing their heads. Or maybe they died and someone removed their head afterwards. Wasn't too sure. You know, crazier things have happened, so it wouldn't be strange in ancient times for maybe the enemy to cut off the heads of the dead just for some weird shit. I don't know, right? Maybe they go bowling. I'm not sure. But I do know that Headless Priest was a topic of discussion amongst a few youths that I ran into in a little bar in Quezon. I hear them chatting, right? One of them saying something about Headless Priest he saw over by the river and shit. I'm like, hey, my name's Mr. Ramos, Rafael Ramos. What about this Headless Priest, did you say? You know, he explains to me, and I'm listening intently. Because I want to know if he's just, spinning a tale for his friends, or if he really saw some shit. Because if he saw some shit, likelihood of me seeing some shit as well in the same place is high, right? That's the way ghost hunting works, people. Trust me. I'm world renowned in my own mind. Nobody really knows anything about me, but that's okay, you know. So what we're going to discuss now is exactly what happened after this guy finished telling me what was going on, right? I say, hey, show me or point me in the right direction. You don't have to necessarily walk all the way there with me, but you tell me where it is. He explains he's going directions. I go on my way, right? Bid them farewell. Now, on my way there, right, I'm reading this pamphlet about cakes and pies. I get hungry. I walk into a little shop, grab something to eat before I get, to the destination there by the river. Now, while I'm inside this shop, this guy walks in, right? Priest. He has his head, so he wasn't obviously a headless priest, because if I saw a headless priest walk into the shop, people obviously, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, what the fuck? And probably shit my pants. You would probably shit your pants if you saw a fucking person with no head walking around. That's not some shit you see every day. And if you did see it, trust me, you would react in a way that would probably, end up being the thing that I discussed happening to you before. Now, let's move on, right? Inside, guy walks in, priest. He looks at me and he says, "You're Mr. Ramos, aren't you?" I'm like, yeah, why? Why are you asking? Stop looking for whatever it is you're looking for before it finds you. He walks out. Now, I'm thinking, right, who the fuck is this guy? That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking anything else but who is this guy? And also, how the fuck does he know who I am and what I'm looking for? Not that he said anything about priests. But, it begs the reason that since he was a priest and I am looking for headless priests, that he would probably be knowing that that's what I'm looking for. So, I put two and two together. Figured he probably overheard the conversation that I was having with the young dude over there about priest headless by the river. I pay that guy no mind, Raphael Ramos. Been there for like a year and some change. Nobody fucks with me. I'm a good guy. They're good people. So far. At least up until this point. Right? So I'm by the river, chilling. Waiting to see some shit pop up. Sitting on the bench, hitting my vape. Smoking a blunt. On the low. Right? Because I know you're not supposed to do that. In fact, I wasn't even smoking anything. It was the vape. Anyway, right? Bam! I see this mist start to rise up off the river. Looking at it. Now, obviously, mist rises off rivers all the time. There's nothing spectacular about mist off rivers. But this mist was different. All right? It was like swirling in place. Not traveling along with the current and shit. It was just chilling in place. Right? So, I find this odd. And so I'm looking at it, like really looking at it. And while I'm staring at it, all of a sudden, I feel this thud and sharp pain in the back of my head. Everything goes black. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up in this dark room, light swinging over my head and shit. On a chair. Tied up. Noggin hurts. Fucking priest from earlier steps in front. Starts talking shit to me. I told you what you were looking for. You should have minded your own business. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm sitting at the bench, minding my own goddamn business and shit. Walk up behind me, smack me in the head and shit. What the hell's going on with you? Huh? Shit. You're looking for the Headless Priest. Everybody's around here looking for Headless Priest. It's a fucking story on the goddamn internet. You're acting like this is some... I'm not allowed to look for the Headless Priest? People take pictures of things they think are Headless Priests. I'm just here trying to find out why they're headless. Well, yeah. Yeah. Why not? Past, right? Is it? I don't know. Why are you asking me? Shit, look, untie me, number one, or things are gonna get really ugly. Okay, you don't know who the fuck you're dealing with. Rafael Ramos. That's not my real name. I'm Reese. God damn it, Reese. Ghost hunter, demon slaying, extraordinary inventor, and ass kicker if you don't untie me soon. Okay? Now, of course, I'm none of those things, right? You know, I'm just a regular dude who travels places and looks for paranormal shit from time to time. Demon Slayer and Ghost Hunter, I am not. And definitely not trying to kick this guy's ass. How am I going to do that when I'm tied to a chair? I'm not a fucking secret, what is it, secret agent, right? You know, like FBI guy, CIA, maybe whatever, you know, spy. That could, like, get untied. But that's not the fucking point. The point is, this guy's got me tied up in this fucking room. He's asking me questions about things that I don't know the answer to, right? And that's making me angry. Because all I wanted to do was see this headless fucking ghost and then ask it some questions. Well, I would ask it questions if it was one of the ones that came with the head, because it would have its head talk, perhaps. But if it was a headless one, it's not going to say much of anything. Unless, of course, no, I'm not even going to say it. Anyway, right, so after this guy goes on and on and on and on about shit that I don't care about for a few minutes and shit, I interrupt him and I ask him once again, a little more firmly, to untie me, you know, because this shit has got to stop. Now, of course, he's not hearing anything. He's not hearing anything. Now, I'm starting to panic, right? You know, because I have absolutely no idea where I am. It's dark. And this guy's got me tied up. So when I hear this jiggling, like, sort of like a doorknob being jiggled, right? Door. Priest guy looks up. He's like, oh no, they're here. I'm like, they who? You're about to find out. He hauls ass, right? And I don't know where he goes. I just hear his feet moving quite quickly. You know, door slams. Still hear this jiggling. Now there's like a bang against this door. Right? It's banging. But I don't hear like people, footsteps or anything. It's jiggling and banging. I'm sweating bullets. Because I'm tied up, right? In a chair, don't know where I am. Head hurts. He hit me and shit. And there's something at the door trying to get in. And he hauled ass. So obviously, it's nothing good, right? It can't be good. And it wasn't good. Because when it came in, I don't even want to think about it. It chokes me up sometimes, you know? I'm still trying to recover from what it was that I saw. And I won't go into too much detail, but let's just say headless things don't look as like clean and nice as they do in movies and like TV shows and shit, right? Especially like Headless Ghosts. You know, well, Headless Ghosts, right? And these are ancient Headless Ghosts. Priests on top of it. Now, what type of person chops off a priest's head to begin with? You know, that's just like kind of fucked up. They're priests. I mean, whether you're religious or not, they're just priests. They're not really doing anything bad. Takes off the heads of people anyway. You know, unless you're sick or mentally, right? That's what I'm starting to think as this door is jiggling and I see these headless ghosts. And I mean, it looked like some of these heads weren't like chopped off. You know, they looked like they were torn off. And some of them had partial heads. You know, like not the whole entire head missing from here, but it'd be like from the nose up, or maybe half of the side of the head missing. And I started to piece together that it wasn't the Japanese during World War II or some type of, human that perpetrated these types of crimes against these priests. It wasn't rival tribes or any of that. It was monsters. Oh, yeah, monsters sure was. Yeah, it was fucking monsters, and I'm gonna tell you why I know it was monsters. Because these monsters, right, they have this sort of like psychic ability, okay? Now listen to me. I know you think I'm fucking making this shit up, but I'm not, alright? These headless ghosts are just a projection that they put in your head so you don't see their true form, right? You're too busy thinking that you're looking at a ghost. Now, some people react to ghosts like most normal people would, which is to be scared and run, right? Oh, I got a ghost, and leave, because it's a ghost, it's supposed to be dead, it's not, and it's walking around and shit. Who the fuck wants to come in contact with that? No one, except for me. And I don't want to come in contact with it, I just want to see it, document it for my own purposes, and then move on. But, there are those of us who don't even want to do that. We see a ghost, we go far away from it, right? But then you have those other ones that want to like communicate, talk to it and shit, sit down, have it like move balls and stuff, right? And that's the ones that this monster really likes. So what it does is it projects these ghosts. People will come up with a ghost tale, and these monsters are familiar with these things because they've been around us for centuries. They've been around, right? They loom in a lot of different places. Now, I'm not saying there's no such things as ghost people. There are ghosts, right? But these particular headless priests that roam the Filipino countryside are not ghosts. They're monsters that make think that they're ghosts. Ever hear about some of these people seeing headless priests, right? Or speaking of headless priests and people going missing? I looked into it after I got free, of course, from this monster I was trying to get me. Obviously, you probably wondering, like, how did you find out all this stuff? You were retired and chair of a monster. Don't worry about all that. I got free, obviously, if I'm telling you the story, So, don't worry about how I got free. That's minor detail that you don't want to be caught up in. Let's just move forward now to where we are, which is the monsters roaming the countryside. Now, they're not everywhere in the Philippines. I'm not exactly sure where they all are or where they originated from, but they're in some small pockets. Now, of course, when I find out where, folks, I'll tell you. But remember, okay, for your own safety, if you see headless priests, assume that it's a monster and stay clear, okay? Very clear. Don't get enthralled in letting it come any closer to you than, let's say, 100 feet or so. Maybe further away than that. In fact, don't look at it at all. You see it's headless, turn around and go the other way. Quickly. They don't want to attack like, bears and things do, because that's just too outright. They have to lure you, kind of like hypnotize you with paranormal stuff. Get you all, hypnotized, like I said, dazed, confused, dazzled even. So, like I said, if you see any headless priests roaming about, not ghosts, monsters, and they will eat you. And no one will ever And so it takes a shit, and then they'll find like a lump of shit with like probably whatever clothing you were wearing and your bones, because they don't eat bones. They don't like, but the meat and stuff like that, oh, gone. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Ghost Stories from the World with Omen, Philippines series. 2 out of 9. Tomorrow at 3 a.m. or around that time, join me for another tale from the Philippines. This time, the tale of the flying coffin. Have a wonderful evening. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Like the video, leave a like. If you want to be notified when these things happen, stories or whatever else I decide to post on this channel, well, go ahead and press that icon and you'll be notified. Until next time.